All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for listening. Go ahead and smash the likes up, get the subscribe button, and smash notification bell as well. You know we got plenty coming for you. Manchester City on an absolute tear are visiting the worst place that you know what? No. They're visiting St. Mary's. It's Southampton. It's bottom of the table. James Ward-Prowse, the only hope. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna get the 1-0 free kick to save just to make me so happy? Just to make my day before we have to go to Anfield. What do
You,
you think?
you know the thing that's interesting is I, I'm I'm a believer that City gives a goal all the time, so he might get a free kick. He might get one, but then that might be after the three goals that they score or before. But
Right. Yeah,
it'll
the
be at
six they're
some
gonna put
point.
up on them before. Yes.
What do we know about Holland?
He's back in regular training. Foden is back in training too. So Southampton not only will get if they do get their one, that's nice for them. But they're gonna get like full strength squad City because it's the fixture before Champions League. So it is what it is. I think you'll see starters out there. They won't play the whole game just to kind of get them. Like Holland will probably get a run out about 60 minutes or so.
What about
Yank
John
them.
Stones after that great performance
You mean the
last time
midfield
out?
maestro? The
Yeah,
midfield maestro, John Stones. Um, I think he'll play. No, actually, I don't know because Laporte hasn't played in a little bit, so I think Laporte might play instead of Stones because Stones for sure is playing against Bayern.
yeah.
So uh, even I don't know. Did Walker play in the last game? I can't remember.
Nope.
I don't think he played. Yeah, I think Walker will play the next one too.
And it was possibly the best performance City's had all season.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, maybe even.
Well, I think they're gonna kind of play it by ear because they're gonna kind of see what they need to do speed wise, because it depends on what Bayern does on the wings. For the game against Southampton, I think they'll be fine. I think I I might even dare say Holland doesn't start. I think Holland may come on at the end off the bench just to kind of get his legs fresh. Foden, I think, will do the same thing. Grealish, I'm going to give Grealish credit, even though, I mean, his cross was on the ground because I don't think he does crosses in the air on his assist. But Grealish is in pretty, I mean, I've given him credit the whole time he's been in form, but he's in pretty good form now. And I'm appreciative of that. But you know who's really in form? That ginger guy. He is in form. Like De Bruyne is like, I'm excited for him
We
to,
were
to, to
yeah, we
oof.
were just talking about how De Bruyne was it's funny because even bad Kevin De Bruyne is not on form or is in better form than a lot of other players and stuff. But now when you see Kevin De Bruyne actually hitting that stride and what the standard we actually really hold him to, it just proves like his prowess in the midfield. It proves how much he really can do and how much he can open a game and hit that pass and see the man, or he sees the pass in the lane open, like truly open before it really does. He knows that lane's going to open up and be there. So he hits the ball early and then the lane opens up and you're like, how did he even know that? And it's in there. He has it. He has the technical skill to do it. He has the mental capability to keep up with the game, and he just picks teams apart. And if you give him that space, you've lost that game.
He's
100%.
agreeing with all of that. It's really funny because he's really picked like a really good time to find his form. Because I mean, we've all talked about how he looked kind of uninterested. He looks
Sluggish.
interested
Yeah.
now. I
Yeah.
mean, he's literally hit what, a goal and an assist, at least one goal, at least one assist in the last three games. Like, I
It's only
mean,
seven.
the
It's only
guys,
17-1 in the last three games. That's it.
it's
Right.
it,
That's
It's just
it.
17 to
it's
1.
his form is insane. And I mean, but we've all known that. I think Patrick said it in a couple of podcasts ago. When he's on, there's nothing you can do about the team because he literally is the guy that'll drag him. I mean, I think Holland is super important, but I think in an interview they even said that because they tried to kind of set him up as a gotcha with how did the team perform without Holland, and De Bruyne was like, we were in the same position without him last year. It's like
Yeah.
this is where we are. He's like, I'm not saying he's less, but this is what we do, which kind of was like, hey, he's like, hey man, we love this new guy, but this is what we do.
It's a little bit like why how can you even ask that question? Oh, you guys miss Holland.
Why.
You miss Holland today. You scored 4 goals.
But you know why they asked the
Doesn't
question?
compute.
Because think about all the infighting and extra like subterranean, subsurface things that were going on for City that really matched them having an up and down form. There's literally nothing outside of the team going on now. Nothing. And now that nothing's going on, they're running everybody over. So you got to find something. You got to like show some kind of discontent in there to make it work. Because the question was, well, could Alvarez fill Holland's boots? You mean World Cup champion Julian Alvarez, Spanish Player of the Year Julian Alvarez, the guy who has more goals and assists than a bunch of other players in the Premier League in his first time? That same guy? Come on, man! Like,
yeah, I mean he was incredible as well last time out, and I'm not happy about it. I'm really not.
That ball
really
he played to De Bruyne was so wonderful.
Right.
My goodness, it was so wonderful.
Even Pep
was
said
like,
that was one of the best performances they've had in years, in the whole time he's been there.
Yeah, I really think they're gonna go for all of them. And the funny thing is somebody said, and it wasn't like an official thing, but they asked the question about the league, and they said, you know what, we're gonna do what we do. If Arsenal win, they win. They on. You can see they're keyed in on those. So FA is going to get their attention. Champions League is going to get their attention. And, Arsenal have a tough run. And if they're able to get through that run, which I actually think they'll only drop points in one game. There's only one game I think they'll drop points. The rest of them, they'll be fine. And the funny thing is, and this would sound weird, if they drop points in just that one game, they'll be fine. It won't even matter.
Yeah. If I'll just say this, if we make it to the empty head with the same lead we have right now, I'm happy regardless.
Yeah, it won't even matter.
I'm happy
It
regardless.
won't matter.
Because I'm going to get to enjoy an absolute incredible. I mean, I'm so excited about that game. I'm so pumped. Because, finally it's going to mean something, to be playing such a massive game near the end of the season. And honestly, it's something that you said a while back, Lewis. I'd rather beat you when you're flying high. When Kevin De Bruyne is killing the game, when Holland's trying to push past 50 goals, when Alvarez is coming in, and Pep's tinkering, I would rather beat you at your heights and say, we won the title, we were the best, we even beat you at your ground to win the title, not to clinch it, but you know what I'm saying? So
no.
I would rather there not be, Holland was out and De Bruyne was sick and blah, blah, blah. Gundogan was mad at everybody. I would rather, win it outright. It's like back in the day when Arsene Wenger called for a replay of a FA Cup semifinal because the refereeing decision was blatantly wrong and he knew it and it gave us a penalty to win or whatever. And he got it turned around to where they replayed the match and we won again. But still, like it's kind of like I want to straight up, no excuses. We did it fair and square. That's how it should be. That's how I want it to be. None of this media stuff like, Holland didn't play today. What's going on? Come on.
And we live in a weird sports culture where if you could find any what about, they're gonna run that and magnify it to something else, and it's something that I think is disappointing because we don't even. Let me phrase it correctly. We celebrate champions less so now because we're looking for a way to take something away from it instead of letting a champion be a champion. And I think it's a bit unfair because But I've asserted this for a while. If Arsenal wins, man, and I've given Arsenal their credit all season. Anyone who doesn't give Arsenal credit for what they've done this year is a hater. Period. They're a hater. And the thing about it is that City is flying, and would I love for them to win the league? Absolutely.
Right.
But I mean, I'm living reality. Sometimes a team is better than you.
Yeah, that happens. That definitely happens. It is what it is.
Well,
What do you-
would you say, and here's where I struggle with this, right? Like on paper and everything, I'm not taking anything away from Arsenal. An amazing season.
Watch it. Watch what
I'm
you're
not,
about to
I'm
say.
not, I know. The game at the Etihad proves a lot, but even still, if Arsenal wins that, what's the record on the season, City versus Arsenal?
It'd be 3-1 if Arsenal won, because
All
City
right.
beat them 3
If
times already.
Arsenal only win by 2 points, and once they drop if they drop 3 to City, you know what I'm saying? If it's that close, I don't think Arsenal are better than City. I think they played the season, the Premier League, better on whatever it takes to win that. Whereas you stack these two teams up in a tournament and you play them again, second leg, just like the Champions League. City are scary in a.
I disagree, though. What's the
Team v
point of
team.
playing a 38 game season?
But that's the point of playing a 38 game season. It's not. Yeah. You can have the best team on paper. You can buy the most expensive players. You got to make it through that entire season. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Y'all played the marathon exactly the way you needed to win the game. That's why Mal is attributed to the way he did it, because he did it with a statistical mindset of this is how we play the Premier League to win it. And you can see, if you track back to Arsenal's entire season, y'all played teams, you've made the adjustments, you bought the players to run this marathon. And the focus, I think, and it's hindsight is 2020, but the focus has been here to put this together, to run the marathon, to win the league. That's why you're in the position you are. And all kudos to you. You deserve it. You've had an immaculate season in the Premier League. That's why I don't think, like, the Europa was, hey, we're here. If we win it, we win it. If not, the focus has always been, we're going to prove to the world we can win the Premier League with $160 million squad you got rocking right now.
Like, I mean, it's not the City squad.
It's not right.
It's not the Chelsea squad.
It's not right.
I agree. I agree with just about all the premises, but I want to push back a little bit on it, because I think maybe I worded it, in a weird way. But I think the thing about it is that if they win the league, in my opinion, they are the better team, because the thing about it is that it's about being consistent.
Yep.
More. And I agree with your point, but I would say even on paper, they took their same 11 guys. They had cup games, they had injuries, and they still and they had pressure. They had pressure they never had before, with a manager who never was in this place, with guys performing, and they were better. And because it's not about individuals, because I mean, like, for example, and it's not like a knock on that, you guys, the joke about the City team, the cost of the team. Well, I mean, if we're going to be honest about that, let's go back and look. Nobody thought Nathan Ake was supposed to be good like that. Julian Alvarez is whatever. Nobody knew who Ederson was. Nobody rated Nathan Akanji. So, I mean, yes, the value of the squad now, but that's because of what the squad has done over time. Like, these guys have gained value because they were. Kevin De Bruyne was a flop, right? He was the flop. He was a flop.
Oh yeah.
And so you look at that. You take this Arsenal team, and I would, if I'm projecting a year or two, the value of the Arsenal players, if they're able to sort of maintain it, will be the same. And so
150 after this season. Easily. If Mud Dog's worth 100, my man Saka's got to be worth 150, 180.
He's way better than him.
Way better. And he's the same age. Way better.
And so I look at that and I say, if I'm rating value for value, like Odegaard, like you couldn't. There's not a dollar you can put on Odegaard to take him out of that Arsenal team. Period.
No,
is he Kevin De Bruyne value? I mean, you might get the same because De Bruyne is older than him. So I mean, market value, yeah. But I mean,
Give us 3-4 years, and
right,
when we got the trophy,
right,
when Odegaard's got the trophies that De Bruyne has
right,
in 3 years.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. So I mean, I look at
Neither
that,
of you are
and
going
you
to have a
just
Champions League, so it's perfectly fine. So
well, you
Not
keep
going-
on hating, sir.
I'm gonna clip
You
that.
keep on
Just
hating.
wait.
You keep on hating, sir. Just know, in June of this year, when it got the sky blue banner
Those
ribbons on it, I don't want to hear nothing.
puke.
I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh, we're gonna bring it back to that for sure.
No,
Bring it back to
don't-
We'll put
no,
some sky
no,
blue
puke.
puke inside of Big Ears too.
Yeah.
How's that? To make it just
Right.
Kool-Aid.
No, I
But
would
yes,
agree.
that's my
Louis.
take
I
on
think.
it. That's my take.
I think. I would. That's where I'm struggling with, right? Like if I'm rating a player, given it 0 to 99, and you rate you put City at a 97, you got to put Arsenal at close to that. But that's where I'm struggling at with like saying it's a better. But you're right. They ran the marathon better. They won what we would consider the most prestigious trophy. I love the Champions League as much as anyone else, but you want to win your domestic league. You want to carry that into every match with you next season. You want to have it right out front in the stadium, in the trophy cabinet when the fans are pouring in. They just want to see them stack year after year after year. Like that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what the focus should be. And sometimes teams lose that focus, which I attribute City for this, actually. That's what I will say. Kudos to them as well. Like to not be able to lose. You have a massive club coming up against Bayern Munich with one of the most dangerous tacticians as a manager now. And he has, and I say that because he has Pep's number.
Yeah.
Pep doesn't have a good
Something
record
like that.
against Pep
Yeah.
doesn't have a good record against Tuchel.
Right.
So,
So tell me this, Patrick. Does City overlook Southampton? Does City ever look past them with their eye on Bayern?
No.
they
No.
can play the C squad.
Or does it matter?
No, I don't think so. And I'll say, kind of jumping in on the whole discussion about Arsenal and City, the thing that really I keep coming back to is City has not had to go out and find a way to win games like Arsenal's had to. City has been the team where, okay, they're going to win straight up. But if you think about it, Arsenal has come back in games where it looked like dire situation.
Yeah.
They pulled back so many points this year. And I think that, that to me makes them a quality champion. And I agree with Lewis. We try so hard when somebody's either about to become champion or becomes champion. The first thing is, well, could this team beat this team? And, this team wasn't as good as this team, but they just kind of looked up along the way. Listen, I know I've said this a million times before, but every year when Chelsea has won the league, they've taken care of business against the teams they needed to, and they found a way enough against the teams that were equal to them.
Yep.
And that's what it's about in a long 38-game season. It's not about giving your performance 100% every game. It's not possible, especially this year with the World Cup in the middle of it. So, I mean, I think in the beginning, I kind of questioned if this Arsenal team was for real. I've bought into them. I watch them now, one, because they're fun to watch, but two, you can see that winning mentality really starting to come through in the team. And I still think, personally, that they don't beat City at home or at the Etihad. But I think they pull this out in the end, and it's a credit to Arsenal in their season to take what City is doing and still be better than them. Because right now we're starting to see that, like, when's that full steam ahead City going to come on? When it's here, they're going to be pretty unstoppable unless Bayern gets their number. And then at that point, it may say they may kind of punt the season at that point, is what my concern would be. But they're so far ahead right now at second place, I don't think it would be that big of a deal to them. They'll still win they'll still win games here and there, but it won't be the same City that we're seeing right now.
I can only hope.